Welcome to the Teks Australia presentation on how to use the Teks reporting server, or otherwise known as the TRS. The first thing we're going to discuss is the home screen, and this is real-time vision of what happens when you do log in as an administrator. If this is the first time you're logging into the TRS, you'll be given an access which is admin, ADMIN, and then the year of birth, which is 0. So if you can prompt those through to the screen now, and I can take you through to what happens when you log in. Make sure the text is all in lowercase. As an administrator, once you've logged in, you'll have access to all the tabs which you can see in front of you right now. The first thing we're going to do is create a contact, or create a administration contact. So we want you to hit edit and then follow the prompts through. As you can see, you can add all your details in there. This is a very important step to adding your details in as an administrator. It should be something reserved for anyone that wants back-end access to the TRS, never a user or a patient of the system. This is an example of an individual login. It's the same login screen and prompt as we'd use an administrator. However, we have denied the individual back-end access to the system. So what you'll see as they log in is their personal details all on the home screen. But more importantly, this is where all their routines and exercise history has been saved for future reference. Once the individual hits routine list, it will bring up a list of dates and exercises that the individual has completed. We will go through this in detail later. It was just a reference to be able to show the difference between an administration login and an individual login. So I've just logged out as an individual and I'm going to log back in now as an administrator. We're going to go through each tab separately to explain how to use the TRS system as an administrator and how to set up specific key functions for individual users. The first thing we're going to do is set up an individual contact. So click Contact Management and you'll be taken to the Contact Management home screen, where there will be a list of all the past contacts you will have created. What I'd like you to do now is create a contact. So click the top left-hand tab and you'll be brought to a screen where there's multiple fields of data that you're required to enter in the information of the individual. There are some mandatory fields of data that are required before you can save a new client. They are the first name, surname, date of birth, and the type of user in the system. Once you've entered in these fields of data, hit save and it will take you back to the home screen. The next tab we're going to work with is Team Management. This is a key feature to the TRS system. Being able to create a team or a squad now means that you're able to have multiple users, up to 12 individuals on one kiosk screen. To create a team, simply create a team name, choose what machines you're wanting to use. So if you're having a multiple machine circuit, you can select routines for each machine. Or if you'd simply like to have multiple users logged into the ISOMED machine, simply click the drop down bar and select what exercise you would like the group of individuals to perform. A major advantage of this system, particularly with using multiple isokinetic machinery, is you're able to select different routines for different machines and have each squad or team perform them individually. With effective team management, you're now able to train multiple individuals with time efficiency. Another major feature of the TRS is its testing capabilities. The first stage I'm going to show you through is how to set up an initial test. So on the testing home screen, you'll have access to all the members. In the search fields, start by typing in the individual's last name and the system will automatically search for that individual. Once the individual that you're searching for appears on the home screen, down the left-hand tab there is a tick box. Click the tick box and it will highlight the person's name, and then would like you to go over to the right-hand side of the tab and click Test. Once you've clicked on Test, you'll be brought to the home screen of the individual. There are fields for performance data that you can enter in at any time. However, a key feature of this system is that the isokinetics will record all the isokinetic data of the last date that the individual has performed exercise. Once you're happy with the information that's currently in the fields, hit save and it will take you back to the home screen of the test. Once you've successfully saved multiple dates of data next to an athlete or a patient, we then have the ability to bring up multiple comparison graphs and reports. Start by searching the surname of the patient you're looking for. Click their name and then click Display Pivot Grid. This section allows you to take previous dates of saved data and show comparison graphs and charts. As you can see, you simply grab one field of data and drag it into the data entry area. This system automatically templates two fields in the data area, so I'm just simply dragging and dropping them back into the filter area to demonstrate how to take information from the field area and then drag it into the data area, as you can see. Once you've decided what fields of data you'd like to compare, simply drag and drop them into the data area. You can do this with as little or as many fields of data you're looking to compare against. In this particular example, we've chosen to look at the 10-meter sprint and the vertical jump comparison between dates. And now we'd like to perhaps export this data to a PDF, which you simply hit Export PDF button, and you can see that it will instantly bring up its own screen showing the tabled results. This is a very effective way of being able to see what the athlete or patient's results have been over specific dates. What we're going to do now is show how we want to table these results in a chart graph. We simply hit the home button and enter back into the test session. Prompt back through entering in the surname or finding the patient or the athlete you're looking to compare. Select the athlete's name. This time, however, we want to hit Display Chart. The Display Chart page gives you access to a graphed table. So as you can see with the drop down bar, you'll get access to the specific data field which you're looking to compare against. Then you can see that it will show you which date you've entered in the information. It will then draw a line between the dates and show any improvements or lack of improvements. With this particular example, you can see that we're comparing a 10-meter sprint, but we also want to have a look at the vertical jump. So you can see that by simply changing what field of data, we'll also change what graph and chart that we are looking at. The last graph chart that we'll look at today will be an isokinetic squat with the resistance dial setting on 5 and 1, and we'll want to look at the torque values over a specific time frame. We're going to discuss now how to set up routine templates. Start by hitting Routine Template Management, which will take you through to a screen where all your pre-saved routines are recorded. If you're a first-time user, we will have included a number of template programs for you, things like general power, general fitness, general rehab programs, which will give you an idea of how we've designed our programs. However, you'll probably want a template and make your own. So to begin, start by hitting Create Routine Template. The first thing you're going to need to do is name the template. So have a think as to what exercise routine you're going to create and what you'd like to name it. For the purpose of this demonstration, we simply called our template name the demo test. So you can name your routine template whatever name you would like. The next very important step is to make sure you select your machine type. For the ISOMED, you'll only be given options for ISOMED exercises, but for our high-speed performance range, you'll be given the options for each machine. From there, you'll be asked to select what user type. We usually have a template of an athlete, a fitness, or a rehab client. Then click Save. Once we've created a template name, we want to move on to creating a set. Depending upon which machine you selected when setting up a template, you're prompted to either use a left or a right, a count or a duration. Now, count or a duration is simply counting down reps or counting down against the clock. Then you'll be asked to set a range of motion. Within the training manual, there are specific ranges to follow. Choose the resistance dial settings for the left and right side. You can then go further and set things like a target torque or a target speed. Again, these values are found inside the training manual for each machine and setting. The next tab we're looking at is Lookup Management. Lookup Management is a list of fields that can be entered in drop-down lists throughout the TRS. You can add, edit, delete any field which may or may not be applicable according to how you wish to use the TRS. Lookup Management allows you to change information within a patient's title, a sports or fitness type, subject user type, number of reps, range of motion increments, and resistance dials. Most users of the TRS system we find are happy with the standard templates. However, if you need specifics, please refer to the manual. The final tab is Application Settings. Application settings are default settings. We suggest that these figures are not altered with. They allow for certain calibrations inside the TRS system, so please leave them as default settings. Finally, the last alteration you may want to change is the logo of your company. Simply search and browse for wherever you may store the file on your computer, upload and hit save. A very important element to the TRS is being able to generate an individual's reports. We're able to generate things from a set report to a rep report to a comparison report. Start by logging in as an individual again, entering the username and details. Again, we'll come to the home screen, and what we want to hit on is the routine list button, which is found in the bottom left-hand corner. Once you've hit the routine list button, you'll be brought to a screen where there is a record of every machine and date that the individual has performed. Start by selecting the machine that you want to generate the report, and then the set within that exercise, and they will be listed. In this particular example, we've used the second set of a squat exercise. You can see now that there's a list of reports that you're able to generate along those bottom 4 tabs. We're going to now generate a rep report. Once you click on the rep report, it will bring you a rep or a strength report, which will identify the one key repetition where the individual hit his maximum torque readings. It is brought up in a PDF format, which is very easy to print. To generate a set report, simply click on set report. It's different to a rep report in that it brings up every single repetition performed in that set. For a detailed explanation on what these reports mean, please follow your user manual. The most widely used report is a comparison report. It operates differently in that you have to select different dates. So in this case, we've again selected set 2 on a squat on a specific date, to which you will then automatically be taken back to the routine list to select a squat exercise on a different date. It's very important that once you select the same machine on a different date, you select the same set to compare against. Follow the prompts, hit comparison report, and it will automatically generate a report which compares against both dates. These reports are fantastic to be able to compare specific improvements over a specified time period. To perform an ROM or range of motion report, select a machine. In this case, we're selecting the knee extension, and then follow through and select your dates. Select ROM report and again go back into selecting a previous date on the same machine, in which case now we're selecting the knee machine. Select the same set that was performed and it will bring up an ROM report. Again, all the reports are populated into a PDF document and are incredibly easy to print at any time you need a hard copy of these files. That concludes this presentation on the TRS instruction and navigation system.